Boom! Let's talk about the cruise news. It's breaking off. There's another cruise line that has canceled their April sailings. There's a new form of tourism out there that you can go on, and it costs you $55 million per person. And there's a local news source here that they got the same question that we all do. What's the deal with the vaccines? Are the cruise lines going to require them? They reached out to cruise lines. 4 cruise lines got back to them. I've got those answers, plus I think like 4 other cruise news stories. Jam-packed. Put on your seatbelt. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cruise News Show. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news updates. Like I said, a pile of stories. Let's just work through them. The first story, the major story, Disney Cruise Line cancels their April 2021 sailings. They joined Carnival and Royal and Norwegian. I think the only holdout may be MSC. But yeah, so Disney canceling their April cruises. Here's the deal. Sailings are canceled aboard the Disney Fantasy through April the 24th, the Disney Dream through April the 30th, the Disney Magic through May the 6th, and the Disney Wonder through May the 12th. Affected guests who have paid their reservation in full, the choice of 125% future cruise credit, which can be used on a future sailing prior to May the 31st, 2022, or you can get a full refund. Did you have a Disney cruise that got canceled today? Leave a comment below. Story number 2 is about Viking spending more money, not afraid of what's going on in cruising. They're going to be investing in a brand new luxury riverboat for the Nile in Egypt. They run a couple boats already over there that hold about 48 passengers. Well, this new boat that's going to debut in 2022 will hold 82 passengers. This is not an insignificant investment. These riverboats are expensive. Viking showing confidence even during the pandemic to say that our business will go forward. We will get past this. We will move back into a point of profitability, and we will continue to give people awesome vacations, not only on the ocean, but on the rivers. Good on you, Viking. Thank you for keeping the faith and giving us some encouragement. Build those boats. Yes. And look, that's not the only good cruise news that's happening. I got a couple stories of cruise ports that are highly anticipating cruise traffic in 2021. The first one, a good old U.S. cruise port, Muskegon, Michigan. That is a cruise port on the Great Lakes, and they host smaller cruise ships that hold 250 passengers or less. Got the word they would be hosting 20 port stops in 2021. One of the cruise companies that services the port of Muskegon is Pearl Seas Cruises. Pearl Sea Cruises has 4 cruise ships that will be making stops in Muskegon in 2021. The Pearl Mist, the Victory 1, the Victory 2, and the La Champlain. Sometimes we forget that U.S. cruising isn't just about ocean cruising. It is also about cruising rivers and the Great Lakes. The American Steamboat Company also doing cruises in 2021 on the Mississippi River, the Ohio, the Tennessee. There are ships cruising on waters in the U.S. The interesting thing about these ships for the Pearl Sea Cruises for American Steamboat Company, their ships all have a capacity of 250 passengers or less. That means they're exempt from the CDC. How do you like that? They live where there is a CDC exemption, and they do plan on cruising in 2021. Now that's here in the US. If we go over to Europe, if we go to the Adriatic Sea, if we go to Croatia and look specifically at the port of Dubrovnik, they are also looking for cruise passengers in 2021. I was unfamiliar with this area until I started watching a reality TV show called Below Deck, and they kept showing the super yacht docked in Split, Croatia, and every time they would show it docked in Split, Croatia, you would see these Costa cruise ships in the background. And let me tell you, man, Split, Croatia is beautiful. I have a desire to go to the Adriatic Sea and check it out. And Dubrovnik will be open for cruise passengers this year. Specifically, 354 cruise ships will make a call on Dubrovnik, service well over 600,000 passengers, bringing a significant amount of tax revenue to the city. So this is another global port city ramping up its cruising efforts in 2021. I like that. That's some more positive cruise news. Now, unfortunately, there is a port city here in the United States, here in the state of Florida, that's struggling. Port Canaveral over there near Orlando in Florida, trying to figure out what their budget is for 2021. It has not been easy. We looked at it at the end of 2020. They projected their numbers way down, uncertain as to what would happen with cruising here in the first quarter. And now they're coming back with more projections, and the projections, they're bad. The new numbers coming out of Port Canaveral, they anticipate that they'll make $32.5 million this year, and that's a $43.12 million loss compared to what they were projecting. This is the second time they've rounded that projection down. During the last budget cycle, they thought they would do $56 million and some change this year and only lose $37 million, but as time goes on, that number has been adjusted. They are still making some revenue over there at Port Canaveral. The Victory Casino boat goes out of there. They pay them a docking fee. They make some money that way, but for the most part, the biggest chunk of their revenue comes from cruising, and of course, we know how that is going. It's cost some jobs over there at Port Canaveral. They got in on it early so that they could keep their operating costs down. They reduced from 268 positions to 153 positions. That was done through 68 permanent layoffs, 17 unpaid furloughs, and then just not filling 30 jobs over there. So tough times, bare bones over there at Port Canaveral. And hey, it's just a reminder that cruising is hurting American workers, hurting American jobs. It's easy to, wash your hands and say this is a foreign business, but there are ramifications for the cruise shutdown for American workers, American families, and I just think that needs to be at the forefront. Is anybody listening that can do anything about it? I don't know. We still got to wait for the virus to subside, but there's American people in the hurt locker, and Port Canaveral definitely struggling. But let's change gears a little bit. Let's talk about something on the lighter side. I want to tell you about your new vacation opportunity, but before I get there, let me take a second to invite you to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Be a part of the Lido Loca cruising community here on YouTube by hitting the subscribe button with the notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any of these updates. Thanks in advance. All right, time to get out the checkbook. There is a new way to travel, and that is by rocket ship. Yes, rocket ship. SpaceX has cleared the way for private citizens to buy their way to the space station. And it's happening. It's happening in 2022. 4 dudes have paid $55 million each to ride a rocket into space for an 8-day vacation. I don't know if it's a vacation, a lifelong dream. Who knows? That's a lot of coin. $55 million apiece for 8 days on the International Space Station. And this could be a new form of tourism, right? It seems very futuristic, some 2001 A Space Odyssey stuff where space tourism is a thing. But this is the way it works. Something sounds super expensive, super crazy. 15 years, 20 years from now, it becomes a normalized activity that a broad range of people have access to. Mark this time. And look, SpaceX isn't the first person to let people write a check to go into space. The Soviets have been doing it, but those are normally just up and down type trips. This is going to be a new process going forward where you can spend some money and go to space. There's also some talk, Tom Cruise wants to film a movie in space. And so after this program gets started, it might be possible that there's some Tom Cruise news about him filming a movie in space using this kind of process. I hope that I have enough years in my life to where I see that for $400, you can take a shuttle out into space for a space cruise. That would be crazy. That would be cool. Do you think it'll happen? Technology moving so fast. Do you think in 20 years there will be normalized space tourism? That would be cool. All right. That's that story. Now let's wrap it all up. Let's put a bow on it. Let's talk about, will cruise lines require a vaccine? Fox 35, a news station over in Orlando, they did a report. They talked to a couple experts. The first guy, the cruise guy, is named Stuart Shiren. And they also talked to Marcel Alman, who is the co-owner of Cruise Elite. And they both basically said the same thing. They believe that the cruise lines will push first for crew vaccination, And then as vaccines become more widely available in the United States, they may possibly push for passenger vaccination. But both of those guys took the approach that they don't think the cruise lines are going to wait for vaccination for passengers before they start cruising again. That's a common conversation we've had here. Will the cruise lines wait it out? Do they need to start business before that? These two cruise experts, they don't think so. So then the Fox 35 crew, they reached out to cruise lines. They got answers from 4 cruise lines, answers from Norwegian, Carnival Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean, and Princess Cruise Line. Let me give you the direct quotes from the article. A spokesman for Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings said, "We are exploring options regarding vaccinations for guests and crew, and it is our intention that crew members be vaccinated before boarding our vessels to begin their duties, subject to availability of the vaccine." All right, what do we take from that? Carnival Cruise Line said the vaccines are indeed promising, and we are evaluating a number of factors to see how those would work into our return to service plan. Princess Cruise Line, the new vaccines represent an important breakthrough for people throughout the world, including the travel, hospitality, and cruise industries. We are reviewing the various vaccines, but we have not made any decisions on the next steps at this point. A Royal Caribbean Group spokesman said the company is still in the process of finalizing the details of its return to service and would release more information as it becomes available. So there it is, the answer we've all been looking for. Will cruise lines require a vaccine for crew and passengers right now? It is a collective, I don't know yet. That's that cruise life in 2021. A lot of uncertainty. The vaccine question still open. It still leaves all of us plenty of room to speculate. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Question for the comments is this: would you like to go to space, and would you give up a whole year's worth of salary to do it? Imagine that you could do that. I don't know how much coin these people that spent $55 million have, what percentage of their income it is, but let's just assume for all of us scrubs out there, would you give up a full year of salary to travel into space for a week? Leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please show your support by hitting the like button. This is Tony with Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.